What happens when the king of monsters meets the digital world? No, not Danemon. Godzilla versus Digimon. It's the 70th anniversary of Godzilla, and Bandai has released the latest virtual pet, the Digimon-Godzilla crossover. It's kind of like the Monster Hunter thing, but this time around it is with Godzilla creatures. So check this thing out. I got mine in. I'm super excited. Admittedly, I've been way more excited about this than the Monster Hunter crossover. Check out this box. I mean, holy cow. This thing is just so cool. Look at the War Greymon. Like, I think they've got radiation in him or something like that. So it's kind of like Godzilla getting radiation. Man, that's blurry. Let's go into the heads down overview. Check this thing out. You ought to be able to see it pretty clearly now. So look at this beautiful design here. We've got this amazing War Greymon. Really love the way that that looks. Just like the purples, the way that everything is popping on that. It just looks so cool. I mean, my understanding is it's got to be something with like the radiation that would cause Godzilla has caused War Greymon to now like warp into whatever this is. I think someone in the DDUK Discord mentioned they may be called G cells or something. But either way, I mean, look at this device. Look at how freaking cool that is. It's got such an awesome design on it. I can't wait. We got to dig this in. Dig it in. We got to dig this open. Let's go ahead and get in here. We still are in the heads down mode. All right. One side is sliced open. Another side. Another side good to go. Let's go ahead and just slide out the top here. All right, everything should be open. We ought to be able to slide this backing off now. Nice, there we go. Try to be careful. I want to be. Oh no, I'm ripping it. My God, Adam, what are you doing? I forgot that they put this silly piece of tape here. God, Bandai, why do you have to do that? I was like, why is this thing not coming out? Oh, it just so happens to be the tape that they include on the front. Yeah, anyways, let's just dig in. Let's dig in. I'm a little bummed about that, but that's my bad, not Bandai's. That's my fault. As many of these things have I opened by now. I should have known. But it's all good. Okay, let's check this out. Really, really beautiful display. I mean, the display looks great, but look at this case. This brick is just awesome. Did an incredible job on this artwork. Absolutely incredible job. Look at that Digimon 70th with the spikes on the back. Beautiful. What does it say here on the bottom? G-Cell. Okay, so yeah, that is the G-Cell thing I was talking about. And just noticing that they stuck with a little kind of like polyurethane rubbery bit for the charging point cover. Only reason I mention that is because on the latest version 2 of the Digivice, it's actually like a little sliding port. Yeah, it's a little sliding port like this. I think that's pretty cool. I like it a lot more than just this little rubbery gasket thing, because it would be really nice to have something that kind of like slides back and forth there. Either way, let's go ahead and get this thing turned on. Ooh, those buttons feel nice. What a neat little ding, a little sound. How cool. Man, it's going through like a full boot up. Okay, we can just bypass that. Nice. Now, let's see. It's pretty late where I'm at. Getting started late tonight. We're just going to go ahead and 8 p.m. it. Nice, we got a little Digi-Egg. How cool is that? What is that background? Just like the forest? Here we go. Nice. Looks like we got a little Botamon. What's the meat going to look like? Ooh, the meat's like blue. Blue meat. I don't know how I feel about that. Let's see what we got. Just a red pill. So they went blue meat, but just the regular old pill? I don't know. That feels kind of weird to me. Okay, so we got food. We got protein. All right, let's try that training one more time. Oh, cool. Okay. Oh, okay. So it's kind of just like a little reactive training. So it looks like you hit top, bottom, top. What are those little things flying at me, I wonder? What? Okay, so now we got like a real fight? Oh, okay, it's like the DM20. That's neat. Wonder who that is. Okay, so complex training, it seems like. That's really cool. Let's see if we can get through this. Oh, dang it. All right, here we go. Okay, here we go. So we just charge it. Yes, full charge. I wonder if that's just like a kaiju or like a robot or something that you would fight. Or maybe it's Metal Godzilla? I don't know. All right. Can't do battles yet. Makes total sense. No poop to clean up. Light. Ooh, it looks like there's a freezing mechanic, which is nice. Just a regular heal. Okay, and then let's see what we got as far as settings go. Looks like we got a couple of different backgrounds already. So we kind of got this like island-looking ridge-like thing. And that one's kind of hard to tell. I don't know, maybe it's like an ocean? What do you guys think? Brightness, cool. So we got some brightness. Brightness options are nice. Sound. Power. Cool. Okay, so I know G-cells are a thing, but it may not be a thing in the menu anywhere. We're gonna... Did that reset me? Hopefully not. Cool. No reset. I'm still a bit miffed about the blue meat and just regular pills. I kind of don't like that. Why didn't they do something special for the pills? I don't know. Just me. Would you guys have liked to have seen instead of the pills? They did something special for the meat. Would it have been cool to have like... Since it's Godzilla, would it have been like radiation barrels or something like that? I don't know. Cool. Until we get into evolution and we go into the next stage, I don't think there's a whole lot more we can do just quite yet. So I'm going to do a little adventure with the new Godzilla Digimon, the Godzilla virtual pet, Godzilla crossover, Digimon, whatever. We're going to go do a little adventure of this. I'll keep up with you guys over the next couple days, and we'll check in here at the next evolution and see what we got. All right, check this out. I'm in the middle of work, but it looks like I just got my first random event, and check this out. I've got the Agumon. How cool is he? Oh no, did I miss it? No, I didn't. Sweet. Nice. I actually haven't done any of the tournament yet. Oh, okay, so it's just a regular battle, it seems like. I wonder if that's like a baby Godzilla? I don't know the Godzilla monsters nearly as well as I do Digimon stuff. Oh, nice, Agumon. Nice. It almost seems like there's more than just, you know, the initial like 3 hits and then 4th one is winner. That's pretty cool. I like that. Very cool. Okay, so there's random events in this device. I didn't expect that. I was wondering if there might be, but there isn't, or there is. I wasn't sure. Check this out. So far, no care mistakes, but I have gotten a couple of G-cells, and what's interesting is I'm pretty sure what had happened for me, at least, my Koromon, I'd been doing some training, and I got a couple of these bars, and then I messed up a training, and it seemed like one of the bars went away. So I don't know how this affects evolution lines, or if it does, but what I do know is that it seems to be driven by at least training, maybe other things. I haven't quite determined. But let's go check out the splash. Oh, that's so cool. I love it. Man, that's awesome. Okay. Not a huge fan of this background after staring at it for a day, though. I'm going to go back to this one. And the other thing I wanted to mention, I think I figured out the training. Pretty sure these are helicopters and tanks. Yeah, I think those are supposed to be tanks and helicopters, which means that Agumon is freaking huge. All right. And we'll take it down. Curious to see if we've got another G-cell. Three. Very cool. The other thing that I have decided, so because the meats are like this weird blue grayish color, I think I wish the poops were too. Like that would have made more sense. Or maybe like radioactive green or something. That would have been pretty cool. All right, I will see you guys on the trails.
we've got our Agumon here, and let's see, let's just check on him real quick. He's got 2 hearts, full strength, so I'll go ahead and feed him up. And I don't know if the G cells have anything to do with battling, but you can see I've got 3 bars there. So let's go ahead and try the first round. Oh, dig the like zoom in. That is really cool. Knowing they upgraded the training mechanic to be kind of like a multi-stage training mechanic, I wish they'd gone ahead and done the same thing for the battle system. At least mimicked the DM20 a little bit. That would have been really nice. Because at the moment, it's not quite the Digimon color. Oh, cool. We got like a baby Godzilla or something. It's not quite like the Digimon color where it basically just does the original, you know, Digimon battles. It does seem semi-random. But I do wish that they had just done a little bit more on this one. Nice. Or at least they've given us a health meter. Like, having a health meter would have been nice to be able to see kind of what's going on. Oh, check out that Greymon. It's cool. Reuse sprite, but still. I like the zoom in a lot. The zoom in just adds something extra. Nice, cleared the first stage. Do we get a background? We sure do. What is it? It's just like the color background. I'm okay with that though. Still pretty excited about it. Nice. And what I'm curious about is if our G cells increased. Oh wow, they increased quite a bit. So I was at 3, now I'm at, what is that, 6? Again, I don't really quite know what that does for the evolution mechanic yet, but that's pretty cool. And then I am at a 75% win rate. Earlier, I got that kind of random encounter. That's super cool. I was hoping I would run into another one out here, but all right. Let's keep out on the journey.
All right, so we just evolved into this guy. Pretty freaking cool looking. I think he's just like a Godzilla, because that just kind of looks like a Godzilla. And I don't know if maybe this is like 1970 something Godzilla. Like, I don't know if they're just doing different versions of the Godzillas or if they're all completely different monsters, but I thought you guys would be pretty stoked to see this. The other thing that I'm noticing, and I'm not super sure why, but whenever I had my Agumon, he was a full G cell, I believe, and I noticed that the G cells were a specific color, but what you'll see here is it looks like it reverted and now they're 2 different colors, so I'm not super sure what that means.
All right, so I am about 4, maybe 5 days into running the Digimon and Godzilla device, and I'm absolutely loving it. It's a real blast. I gotta say though, there are a couple of things I've not figured out. For instance, the backgrounds, I've unlocked 4 at this point, and they're never the same. Like, there's one with like an island in the back, and I'll put up a video around here somewhere, but there's like an island in the back, and then sometimes it's a city, and sometimes it's not an island. So like, I don't know. And then I unlocked another background just a few minutes ago where it seems like when I unlocked it, it showed grasslands, but then whenever it populated, it was like the ocean. So I'm not super sure. But either way, what I can tell you is I'm absolutely enjoying the device. I really like the G-cell thing. I don't know what it means necessarily. I don't know how it like fits into the evolution lines, but I figured at the end of this video, what I would do is actually sit down, go to Humulos's website and actually check out the rules or the mechanics, I guess you could say. But otherwise, I've got what I believe would normally be like stage 4. So I've got baby 2, rookie. Yeah. And he's really cool. I think he's just like Godzilla or something, but I think he's super dope looking. So really, really excited. I don't know if there's another stage or not. I know I did get 2 mechanics, or sorry, not mechanics, but I got 2 Kara mistakes at least with this one. So, but I've been doing battles. I think I'm up through like tournament 5 or like stage 5. Really cool so far. The only Digimon that I've seen though have been Agumon, Monodramon, Betamon, and Koromon. So I don't know what other Digimon are on this, but still having an absolute blast. This one, they've knocked it out of the park. I like it so much. I'm having an absolute blast with it. All right, we'll check in with you guys here in a little bit.
I wanted to do another check-in real quick because I just watched this background change, and I have no idea what caused it to change at all. But let me show you this. All right, so you can see here, let me clean this guy up. The background is kind of like I'm in front of this like ridge almost, or maybe it's like I don't know, like maybe this is the ocean down here and then like some sand and then a ridge and the land or whatever. But I swear this was just like him in the ocean with a freaking island in the background. And I did some training because, so here's what I've noticed. My G cells are all blue and they were completely full. And so I was like, oh, well, I'm going to do some training to see if they'll fill back up. Because for whatever reason, they're not yellow anymore. At one point in time, like the G-cell colors change a bunch. And I'm not really super sure why or what for yet. But either way, I did some training. And then in the middle of the training, I swear this background changed. Now, if we go in and we look at what backgrounds I have unlocked, you'll see. So like, I'm pretty sure this is the base one that you just get out of the box. And then that was the second one I unlocked, I'm pretty sure. And then this one, and then here's the grass one that I was mentioning. You remember I said earlier in the video, like, hey, I unlocked one that looked kind of grassy, but then when I selected it, it wasn't grassy like this. It was like an ocean again or something. So the backgrounds on my device at least keep changing. I'm sure they do on everyone else's, but I don't know why yet. I haven't figured out the rhyme or reason. So, but man, this is really cool. I love the little details in this device. Like, I really want to understand the G cells better, but I get the feeling I'm near the end of this run, and once I finish this run, I will look up on Humulos's website kind of what the G cells are, and I'll explain them in the video. Cheers, everybody. So, now that I have finished my Digimon-Godzilla run, I've had one complete run through, and I'm back at the rookie stage, and now I've got what I believe is called Baby Godzilla. A little hard to see there. Come on. I gotta say, guys, I absolutely love this device. It has been an incredible addition to the Digimon rotation. Definitely gonna be playing through it until I complete the roster. I gotta say, as far as things that I love, look at this shell. Like, this shell is just absolutely gorgeous. It is a really, really pretty shell. I really like all of the Godzilla sprites. I do like the way that the G-cell stuff interacts. I went through and did a little bit of research so I could kind of talk about it a little bit more, and it's really, really cool. So I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a few seconds, but I think it's going to add some really, really cool replayability to these devices. I also really love the new noises. Like, there's a bunch of little cool new noises that they added to this device. Just because it's part of the Godzilla stuff, there's some noises that I just thought were cool, well, just different, a little bit interesting. I always love to see how they like to mix up the new devices. I also really love that they took some inspiration from the Pendulum Zs or Pendulum Zs and the Digimon X devices. You've got these really cool like little close-ups that happen whenever you're about to do an attack, or really just before the battle or before a random event. Which, speaking of random events, those are really, really cool. I always felt like with my Digimon X, it was kind of like not super random. They almost always seem to happen at the same times. In fact, if you launch or hatch a Digimon X or a Pendulum Z, if you launch two of them at the same time, more than likely those random events happen at the same exact time. At least they almost always do for me. This one really truly felt a little bit more random. I didn't notice that it was happening like at the same time. So that was really, really cool. I also love that they've introduced a new complex training mechanic. There's two stages to it, so as you've seen in the video, you've got to fight off like some helicopters and tanks, and then you fight this like mecha. It's really, really cool. I really like that a lot as well. I also really appreciate that they added like a library function, so you can go through and see the different sprites or monsters that you've unlocked and raised. You can also see their like close in, like their zoom in shots. I just think that's really cool as well. But I do gotta say, as far as maybe like cons go, there aren't really many. I just noticed that once my monster had passed and I had the little like cross design, you couldn't actually access any of the menus. So I thought that was kind of a bummer. Very, very minor thing though. The only other little thing that I think is kind of a bummer is that the backgrounds occasionally are a little muted. Like, I think they're just a little dull in comparison to some of the sprites. So you kind of end up with this like gray background and gray sprite. A little bit of a bummer at times, but otherwise I think it's like an incredible design. I love the way that the backgrounds change depending on the G cells, which I was able to figure out. So depending on how many G cells you have in this like meter, you basically have these backgrounds that change whether you're like in the ocean or in the city or outside the city. So that's a really cool mechanic as well. I'm still a little bummed that the Baby 2 can't really do much. Like, you can train them, which is really nice, and the training is how you increase G cells to some extent, whether you get through stage stage 1 or stage 2. And if you fail training, then your G cells kind of get reduced to some degree. But outside of that, like, you can't go into the tournament mode with them or anything. You can't battle with them, which is just kind of a bummer. Like, I know it's not a Digimon X, but with the G cell stuff, I thought maybe the Baby 2 would be empowered to go and do some fighting. But unfortunately, that just wasn't the case. And last but not least, the battle system, I think, is a little lackluster. Like, they went in and they did all this extra stuff as far as the training goes and like the really cool zoom in shots and the random encounters, but they didn't give us a more advanced battle system. I wish that they had, even if it was just like the Digimon X or DM20 or something. It would have been really nice to have had just one extra little element there to kind of make the device a little bit more interactive. But at the end of the day, I think if you love Godzilla, if you like Digimon, this is a really cool V-Ped. If you're wanting to get into like the V-Ped experience and you're wanting to kick it off with Godzilla because maybe you like Godzilla more than Digimon, maybe you're familiar with like the Agumon Greymon line or something like that, this is the device I would heavily recommend. I would absolutely go and pick one up. It's been an absolute blast. I gotta say, I enjoyed it so much more than the Monster Hunter device. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the Monster Hunter device. It's a fun device, it's fine. But I feel like this brings so much more to the table. If I was a pure Monster Hunter fan, I think I'd be a little bummed with how the Monster Hunter device works. I mean, there's not a whole lot of Monster Hunter elements to it outside of just them being monsters from Monster Hunter. At least with this one, the G-Cell's there and the training is kind of interactive in a fun way. Like, I don't know how many times I've seen Godzilla destroy a tank or a helicopter, right? But with the Monster Hunter one, like, there's no real like cooking system or like mini game system like there is in Monster Hunter. So I don't know. All in all, what I'm trying to get at is this device is so much better in my opinion, and it is a great jumping on point. So if you're looking for a really fun Digimon color Godzilla based device, you got to go get yourself one of these. I mean, check it out. The thing is gorgeous. The other, shell design, I'll put up a picture here, is really, really pretty as well. So great job, Bandai. Really, really knocked this one out of the park. The last thing that I kind of wanted to break down was just the backgrounds and the G-cells. So those G-cells are basically, if you've ever played like a fighting game, it's kind of like the HP bar, right? So in the fighting games, you have like a green HP bar, it gets down to 0, and then normally it's like blue or yellow or red, and then you work your way down, right? It's kind of the same thing with the G-cells. You basically do different things, whether it's like winning battles or beating stage 1 in the training or beating stage 2 in the training, that basically raise the G-cell, right? So it's kind of like that training meter for like the DM20. Like if you train 4 times, that's a training meter star. Similar with the G-cells, depending on what you're doing, you get different G-cell bars that then raise the G-cells up. Now, if you get care mistakes or if you feed them like proteins and things like that, you are actually able to reduce the G cells. So you can kind of control this mechanic, which is really neat because basically there's 4 levels there. So you have to like work your way up from, I want to say it starts with like blue and then maybe it goes into green or red. I don't remember the colors off the top of my head, but there is basically 4 different levels that you have to work your way up to. And then depending on where you're at in your G cell meter, it's going to affect the evolution line. So it's pretty cool stuff. I was also reading that instead of just traded eggs, there can be something called like a G cell that's left behind, I think. So it's like another traded egg kind of thing. But either way, really cool device. And then depending on what level you're in for the G cell meter, those backgrounds change, which describes exactly what I was seeing throughout my playthrough. So really cool little thing. I can't wait to be able to see like what the community gets into from a modding perspective. I would love to be able to throw some Digimon on there and like, as much as I love the Godzilla stuff, just have like a custom device with these mechanics. I almost envision that G-cell could kind of be like an X antibody meter, maybe? I don't know. Either way, I really enjoyed the device. I'm stoked about it. It's probably been, of the most recent Digimon Color devices, my favorite one that's come out for sure. So anyways, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the run today. It's been a really fun time getting to run through another device. But otherwise, this is Adam, aka The Real Simzo. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you next time.